is up, everyone? It's your girl, Brain Shanae, and today I want to express to y'all how last week was just really stressful, mentally, for the most part. A lot, I feel like we all felt it last week, especially if you're in the US. And so I was in desperate and like dire need of retail therapy. Now, I will say the books that I'm here to share with y'all, these are some that I was going to get anyway because I have a book box subscription. There was some that I got because there was a sale and I was intrigued with what the books were. So I was like, okay, let me just pick it up. There were others of like manga that I was just starting to be obsessed with because of the anime. So yeah, so I didn't go too crazy because I felt like books are books. Books are expensive. And to be honest, I just needed something to give me some joy and to have me get out of this negative aura that I was feeling all around me and just within a lot of stuff that took place, right? And so I was like, okay, I need something to get me out of feeling this way. Like this feeling, it will not go away. I will have this feeling of like, wow, this really happened. But now I'm at this point of where, okay, this happened. Now, what can we do as a country, as a people, And I'm looking at, you know what? This is not the time for me to put my head down. This is time for me to put my head up and be like, the fight is not over and never will be over. As far as a lot of things in the US and, women's rights and whatnot, but it's never over. There's always something to look forward to. There's always something that we can do something, because we still have voices. And I'm not going to let this be the end all be all, if that makes sense. So I'm keeping my head up high and I'm always thinking of, okay, what is the next thing that we can do as a people, as a country? You know what I mean? So I'm trying to stay positive as much as I possibly can, because if you just constantly have that negative energy, it doesn't do well for you mentally. And I know it definitely doesn't do well for me mentally when it's just completely negative, right? I'm always looking at the positive things of what can be done and what can we do moving forward. And that's what we have to keep doing, is moving forward and figuring out ways to, as the people, take our power back, but anyways, enough of chit chat. So I decided to do some retail therapy. So the first book that I'm currently reading right now, I'm only 100 pages in, is The City of Last Chances. It's by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I had seen this on my feed. I think it was on Instagram or maybe it was TikTok. And this is my first book by Adrian Tchaikovsky, to be quite frank with you. I know some people didn't love this book, but I think I was intrigued by it, especially with what just occurred last week. And so I'll read the synopsis. So it says, city of long shadows, city of bad decisions, city of last chances. There has always been a darkness to Ilmar, but never more so than now. The city chafes under the heavy hand of the Palestine occupation, the chokehold of its criminal underworld, the weight of its wretched poor, and the burden of its ancient curse. What will be the spark that lights the conflagration? Despite the city's refugees, wanderers, murderers, madmen, fanatics, and thieves, the catalyst, as always, will be the anchorwood. That portal, when the moon is full to strange and distant shores. Ilmar, some say, is the worst place in the world and the gateway to 1,000 worse places. So I'm liking this. I know a lot of people don't really like this particular book because it's not like plot driven. For me, I think I'm getting to know a lot of the characters. It's more character driven than anything else, but I feel like there's a turn there's a revolution that's starting to take place from where I had left off, based up, because the city of Elmar is under occupation. And so a lot of people are starting to see things regarding religion, regarding how they feel, poetry and whatnot, and the beauty of words. So that's the point that I am right now, and so far I'm enjoying it. And once again, this is my first book that I'm reading by Adrian Tchaikovsky, and so far it's pretty good. I know the next book, the second book, well, this is technically a standalone, technically, but I feel like the other books that are coming out sort of align with this one, of course. And I think the second book, which I don't remember the name of it, which I think gives me a hint back here, House of Open Wounds. I think the paperback is coming out sometimes next year, and then the third book is coming out also next year in hardcover. But so far, really enjoying this, and I'm glad that I picked this up, and I'm glad it came across my feed. And also, I really like this cover as well. So here's that. Next book, I read the first book, which was Forged by Blood. And so the second book that came out, and I had gotten this from Waterstones, and that is Exiled by Iron. This is by Ikbor Okosun. So this is the second book. I know a lot of people didn't like Forged by Blood, the first book. I think they were like, about it. I still wanted to continue on with it. I think it is a duology. I'm not sure, but I think it is. On the back, it says, I have been exiled from my people, exiled by iron, but I refuse to submit anymore. So I'm really excited about this. This is, like I said, last week was hard. And a lot of these books, I'm like, I'm feeling some like resemblance of like, okay, this is not the end all be all, y'all. This is not. This is, to be honest, I feel like this is the beginning of all of us realizing like we have the power as a people. You know, it's just what can we do with this? What can we utilize from this opportunity that we now have and what we now need to do? But I'm really looking forward to this and to see what happens next, since this is the next book. So here is this. I also went ahead and got the third volume of Bitterroot. This is volume 3, Legacy. I love Bitterroot. I'm glad that I got hit to it. I just love this so much. So when I saw this on the shelves when I was at the store, I'm like, bet, say less. So, and I just, I read the second volume earlier this year. So I'm definitely going to read this before the end of the year is over. So here's that. Another book, it is a romantasy. I read the comic. I had gotten it from my, borrowed it from my library. And then I realized that it's also going to be coming out in a novel form. And so when I think of the novel form, I'm thinking more in-depth detail, right? So, and I was really enjoying the comic of it, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm here for it. And so I went ahead and got Under the Oak Tree, the novel, volume 1 by Suji Kim. And this is a book that also has little sprayed edges as well. It says, the first moment I saw you, I knew you would ruin me. And so I really enjoyed the comic. So I went ahead and got this too. Pretty much we have a girl named Maxie who she has a stutter, and her father looks down on her, doesn't let her go outside, is ashamed of her. And, you know, she was abused by her father and her family. She was never to see anyone, right? And so here comes Riften, who is a knight, and her father uses him to like, okay, if you do this, you can just marry my daughter, da 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 da. And so there's a lot more to it. But I'm really looking forward to this. Like I said, I really enjoyed the comic, so I feel like I'm gonna enjoy the full novel. And also has like cute little end papers as well, so I really like that. But on the back it says, most fairy tales end with a wedding and a happily ever after, but this is no fairy tale. Lady Macmillan is the daughter of the powerful Duke Crusoe, but she is rarely allowed outside her family's sprawling castle for fear that her stutter will tarnish their noble name. When she is forced to marry Sir Riften, a low-born knight caught in one of her father's schemes, Maxie doesn't dare hope for happiness, let alone love. Her stumbling communication and his gruff manners sour their relationship before it can begin, and Riften leaves without a word that morning after their vows are exchanged. Now, 3 years after their disastrous wedding night, Riften has returned as a war hero. To Maxie's surprise, despite rumors that he was offered marriage to Princess Agnes, a beautiful and renowned sorceress, Riften still wants Maxie for his wife. And when he comes to claim her, his desire bewilders Maxie, even as she is overcome by the scorching heat that Riften's presence ignites within her. As she learns to navigate the intricacies of her new life, Maxie will find herself and her courage and discover that she is anything but powerless. It says the updated and official translation of Under the Oak Tree, the #1 web novel on Manta. This volume collects chapters 1 through 76 of the original web novel by Suji Kim. So I'm definitely going to try to read this. I also wanted to listen to the audio, so I'm waiting for when Libby comes through for the audio. But I'm really looking forward to reading this, and I just also love this cover. It's very beautiful, and it's just beautiful all around. Oh, look at that too. That beautiful all the way around. So yeah, had to get this one. This is from Illumicrate, their Ever Night box. So I still want to read this, even though I've heard some mixed things about this. Some stuff not really that good, but I still wanted to read it. So I have An Academy for Liars by Alexis Henderson. This is the Illumicrate special edition. On the back it says, one of the linens in the mirror didn't strike its cheek. It didn't move at all really, except to smile. So yeah, this is from the Evernight box. Here are the end pages as well. I'm gonna take the dust jacket off. Here is the other end pages. And then here is the book itself. It's a door. Like, this is pretty cool. Like, this is really neat. I do like this a lot. I like this so much, how it's of a door. And I think it's also signed by her. I could be wrong. Oh yeah, so it is signed by her as well. So there is that. I don't think there was any type of author note or whatever, but I also like the sprayed edges as well. This is pretty nice. Pretty nice. So there is that. So I'm looking forward to reading this. If I don't get to it this month, it's going to be a next month book for sure. And I just been mood reading for real, y'all. So y'all gotta forgive me. But I got this as well. The next book, these next two books are going to be from FairyLoot, from the book box subscription that I have. I have the adult and I have the YA box, combo box. So first we have this one, which is Sorcery and Small Magic. This is by Mega Ducey. I'm not sure if I'm interested in reading this. I'm gonna be quite honest with you guys. I was thinking about possibly putting it on Pango, but I mean, the sprayed edges are beautiful, but I just don't think this book is for me necessarily. It is beautiful, I'll give you that. Like, if I take the dust jacket off, which is, it's reversible, here are the end papers as well. Here's that. And this is what it looks like on the reversible dust jacket. And it is also signed by the author, I believe. And we also have like an author's note. It says, Dear FairyLoot reader, this book has been a long time in the making. Some books are like that. Or maybe it's just that some writers, me, need to let their ideas simmer for an extraordinarily long time until the nonsense boils away and all you're left with are all the essentials, the good stuff. It says, Sorcery and Small Magics quietly simmered away for over 10 years. 10 years. During that time, I worked on other projects and fell in love with other characters like Leo and Grimm were always there, becoming a bit more themselves every time I checked back in with them. And then in March of 2020, I found myself with a lot of time on my hands and an overwhelming desire to work on something fun. Something that I could feel unabashedly excited about writing. That's when I turned to this little idea that I've been living with for so long, now boiled away to a story made up purely of all my favorite things. So it says, so what are we left with? Well, there's a magical forest full of monsters and a curse that upends our main character's life. There are nods to D&D campaigns that I've played in. Everyone loves a chaotic bard, right? There is a gentle exploration of trauma and grief and the way it can make us feel less than we once were until we find a new way of being. And there is an achingly slow burn between two people who are opposites, yet could be the perfect complements to each other if only they would realize it. When I say slow burn, I mean it. I want Leo and Grimm's shenanigans to occasionally make readers tear their hair out or throw the book across the room. Metaphorically, of course. It's too pretty to actually throw, but also go running to scoop it right back up again, eager to find out what happens next. In short, I hope you will want to keep coming back to them just as I have for all of these years. Much love, by Mega Ducey. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about the book, but I mean, I'm willing to give it a try, right? I'm willing to give it a try and say that, you know, I read it, you know? So, yep. So I went ahead. This is from FairyLoot. So here's this one. The next one, which I was really looking forward to, is Air by Saba Tahir. This is the FairyLoot edition. So here is the cover is completely different from the rest. Here is the sprayed stencil edges. There's black, and then you have this. And then if I take the dust jacket off, which is also a reversible dust jacket, it looks like this. So this is the original cover. So here's that. And then here it is when the book is naked in itself. Here are the end papers as well. So I'm really looking forward to reading Air. I really enjoyed Sabaa Tahir's writing for the originals series, The Ember and the Ashes quartet. So I'm looking forward to reading this. Which there's also an author's note, which it says, "Dear Fairy Loot reader, what a gift it is to be able to write to you about my newest novel, Air, the first in a fantasy duology. Air is about an orphan, an outcast, a prince, and a killer whose reign of terror alters the fabric of these characters' lives and the world they live in. This book offers my favorite combination of fantasy themes: adventure, humor, romance, magic, villainy, and heartbreak, but it also asks a broader question I explore in all my work. Why do we treat each other this way? In my attempts to answer this question, Air touches on themes of legacy, found family, loneliness, and trust. It explores the joy and passion of first love alongside the burdens of generational trauma. It examines the complexity and vicissitudes of friendship as well as the cost of vengeance, not just on others, but on ourselves. This book was an absolute joy to write, and I hope that you will have just as much fun reading it. All my best, Sabaa Tahir." So once again, we're looking forward to reading Air. I'm hoping that I get to it this year. If not, it'll be a book that I read next year. Just add it onto the pile, right? Just add it onto the pile. So there's that. And next one is a manga that I thought was really cool, and I liked it. I liked the name of it. It says, "The guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all." This is volume 1. This is by Sumiko Ori. So, and like the pages of the green and stuff, like I love it so much. It says, fashionable and upbeat high schooler Aya loves listening to rock, but no one else seems to share her interest until she meets a cool, stylish employee at a CD shop. Dressed in black from head to toe, he has this air of mystery about him. His taste in music is impeccable. Aya falls hard for him, not knowing her crush is actually her female classmate, Mizuki. For her part, Mizuki generally keeps to herself and avoids standing out at school, but given that she sits right next to Aya, Mizuki's all too aware of the other girl's feelings, and she's afraid to reveal the truth. So why does she find herself talking with Aya more and more? So I'm really excited to get into this. Once again, like I saw this when people were at Comic-Con, I think it was, in New York, and they were just, I kept seeing it on my feed, especially from Yen Press. So I'm like, why not? So I went ahead and got this. These next 2 books are from Target. They have a sale, buy one, get one 50% off. I'm like, why not? Plus with the books being already 30% off on top of that. So the first book that I got, which I wanted to see what it was about, you know, I'm not gonna lie, it mostly was a sprayed edge for me. Which I don't know why I even thought, like, just because it's pretty doesn't mean that the book may be good, but you know, I needed this therapy. So I went ahead and got Blood Guard. This is by C.C. Robson. Once again, it was Target. It had their sale. It says, "Enter the arena, seize 2 weapons, now try to survive." So it was giving me Gladiator vibes, which I'm preparing myself for November 22nd for Gladiator 2 that has Denzel Washington in it. So I'm like, yes, I need this. I love the first Gladiator, and now we're having a second one, say less. So I felt like this was up around that era of Gladiator, especially like if I take the dust jacket off, like Gladiator vibes. Look at that. See that? See that? So I'm like, okay. And so, oh, and also just, that was pretty too. I didn't even recognize it of what was under the dust jacket. So this is pretty neat. But let me read the synopsis. Like I said, I just saw the end papers and the end pages, and I was like, okay. But it says 100 years, tens of thousands of gladiators, and today only one will rise. So anything Gladiator, I'm going to read. So I got this. Next one from Target, buy one, get one 50% off. I went ahead and got The Stars Are Dying by Chloe C. Pinarada. I know Gabby from The Curious Owl had mentioned this book in one of our I think it was my reading sprints, or it might have been Bree's reading sprints. I don't remember. But I was like, okay, let me give it a try. And, you know, it was a sprayed edge, like, so why not? So I also went ahead and got this too. It's a romantasy. It says 500 years ago, something changed. Everyone felt it like the world was cracking, like something had stepped into the realm that was never supposed to be here. I think everyone knew the golden age the Star Maiden had ushered in was about to be shaken like the stars that began to die out. But yeah, it seems like it is a romantasy. So I'm excited to read this. And then like, look at the cover of being naked. Like, that's pretty neat. Like, they went all out for this book. It says, when fall's night, the world will drown in starlight. All right. So, I mean, it's called a nightfall novel. So I was like, okay, romantasy. Okay, better be some romance. It better be romancing for me. So I went ahead and took a chance and also got this as well. So hopefully this will be a book that I read next month or this month. We will see. My mood is all over the place. This next one is I got from a publisher. I think it was Hachette. I don't remember. And I did not know anything about this book coming out. So I was like, okay. And it's called Wild Faith, How the Christian Right is Taking Over America. This is by Talia Lavin, the author of Culture Warlords. Let me know down below in the comment section if y'all know anything about this book. I had no idea anything about this book at all. Literally, they sent it to me. I had no idea about it. Because even here it says, an investigation into the rise of the Christian right over the last half century that lays out the grim vision evangelicals are enforcing on our democracy. So yes, this recently came out and the Hachette sent this to me. So I was like, okay, let me read. I'll read it. So if I don't read it this year, it'll be a next year book for sure. So there's that. This next book I had gotten from Waterstones. So we have Blood Over Brighthaven. This is by Emma Wong, who also wrote Sword of Kagan, whatever you want to call it. Loved it dearly. Loved it so freaking much. So I went ahead and got this, and look, it's red. And yeah, so anything by Emma Wong I'm going to be reading. If I take the dust jacket off, it's just a simple black. Right here, you know, nothing too crazy. But then when you open it, bam, it's a map. I love books with maps, you know, don't come for me, but I just love books with maps. It's like my weakness. So I'm excited to read this. This is probably going to be a book. I'm trying to wait on the audio for it, to be honest with you. Audio be my best friend, especially Libby. She be hooking me up the books. But it just sounded good. It says, the first woman ever admitted to a prestigious order of mages unravels a secret conspiracy that could change the practice of magic forever, in the standalone dark fantasy from the author of The Sword of Kagan. So yeah, looking forward to this as well. The next one, this is also, I'm joining Hear Our Voices book tour for this particular book. I'm really excited to read this and do a book review for it. And that is called Untethered by Angela Jackson Brown. So here is the cover. It says, Katia Daniels is bound up in the needs of those she loves, but the time has come for her to learn to make room for her own life. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. I don't want to get too much into it because I will be doing a book review for it next month. So stay tuned for that. This next one, we were talking about this on one of my reading sprints, maybe it was on my Patreon. And I know Jessica, a few others, I know Elise's. There's a few others that mentioned this particular manga, and I'm like, okay, let me give it a try. It's only two volumes, right? So I was like, why not? So we have Dick Fight Island, volume 1 and volume 2. So I'm really looking forward to reading these. Thank you so much for recommending them. I was debating, it's been one of the mangas I've been wanting to read. So here it is. I finally have it, finally own it. It's mine. So I cannot wait to read that. This next one, I saw this as one of the books that was picked, and I was like, ooh, why not? It's an international bestseller. This is a novel of food and murder. And this is by Azuko Yuzuki. It's translated by Polly Barton, and that is Butter. I was like, why not? A little like food and murder, say less, right? So it says the cult Japanese bestseller about a female gourmet cook and serial killer, and the journalist's intent on cracking her case inspired by a true story. On top of that, like, say less. It says, these are two things I simply cannot tolerate: feminists and margarine. It says, gourmet cook Manako Kaji sits in the Tokyo detention house, convicted of the serial murders of lonely businessmen, whom she is said to have seduced with her delicious home cooking. The case has captured the nation's imagination, but Kaji refuses to speak with the press, entertaining no visitors. That is until journalist Rika Majida writes a letter asking for a recipe for beef stew, and Kaji can't resist writing back. Rika, the only woman in her news office, works late each night, rarely cooking more than ramen. As the visits unfold between her and the steely Kaji, they are closer to a masterclass in food than journalistic research. Rika hopes this gastronomic exchange will help her soften Kaji, but it seems that Rika might be the one changing. Do she and Kaji have more in common than she once thought? And then it says, inspired by the real case of a convicted con woman and serial killer, the Kankatsu killer, Azako Uzuki's Butter is a vivid, unsettling exploration of misogyny, obsession, romance, and the transgressive pleasures of food and Japan. So I was like, sounds interesting. Let's read it. So here we have that. These next 8, I was obsessed with the anime. Like, the manga was already out, but I didn't read the manga. I was watching the anime, and I just became completely obsessed with it. So I got all 8 volumes, and then realizing, like, once I realized that there was a manga for the anime, that the manga is on a hiatus. So I was like, oh my god, that's so sad, but just let me read them anyway. So literally, I just binged read all 8 of these volumes. Do I have regrets? No, because I wanted to know what happens, because the anime is really slow right now, and I need to find out what happens with Yoshino and Kazushima, whatever his name is. I can't pronounce it right now. So I went ahead and got volumes 1 through 8 of Yakuza Fiance. I did it. Don't come for me, but I'm obsessed with the anime. I love it. I watched a new episode today. And I'm like, okay, come on. It's just like, I gotta wait another week for the next episode. And it's completely fine. It's fine. I know what happens now, but it's just so freaking cute. And I love it. I know, like, some people feel like this is problematic, which it can be, but it's still cute in its own way. And I just really enjoyed it. Like, here's the first volume. Here's the second one. Like, look. And the third. Like, I love the covers of these. Here's the 4th, where you have Shoma and the main character, Kirishima. Here's Yoshino and Shoma. Kirishima and Yoshino. Like, these are really cute covers. And here's this crazy guy, and then Yoshino. And then here is Kirishima and Yoshino again. So this is the final volume until the next volume, which the 9th volume doesn't come out sometime next year in June, I think. May or June, hopefully, nothing too late, nothing too crazy. But yeah, so I went ahead and got all 8 volumes of those because I was just upset with the anime. The anime made me do it. But that is it. That was my retail therapy, literally, of everything that took place last week. And so I'm like, I need this. And these are some books that sound really good and really intriguing, and I think that I can get to them. Especially, I've already read Yakuza Fiance already. I binged the crap out of them within a week. Because, manga, you can read manga really quickly. But yeah, all these books sound amazing. I'm willing to give them all a try, especially since I went ahead and got them, But I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope that, I know a lot has been taking place, but I just want you to spread some words of encouragement. Like, we as a people still have some power. We just need to utilize it and use it to our own advantage. How do we do that? we got to start from the beginning of organizing. You know, right now it seems like we are really divided, and I feel like we all need to come together for a cause that we, you know, that we are down for and willing to fight for. And I think that this is the perfect opportunity for us to use our voices. Yeah, a lot took place this week, but will not be a permanent downfall for us. We will rise up again, and we're gonna be 10 times stronger, and we'll come at them 10 times harder. And I feel like this is for us to organize and come together and think through things, and to rethink things on certain things that we can do, and what's doable and what is possible. So don't keep your head up, because we ain't done yet, y'all. We ain't done yet. Just yes, it was a blow. It was a terrible blow, emotionally. I get that, but you know what? We still here, so we gonna do what we need to do, right? We gonna do what we need to do. Yeah, we may have taken a few steps back, but we can move forward and move 10 times forward, you know, and be better than we were last week, right? Do something where we can come together, y'all. So I'm trying to stay encouraged. I'm trying to stay positive, because our fight is not over. And we're going to continue fighting. Yes, are we tired? Oh, hell yeah. But are we going to stop fighting? Oh, I doubt it. No. But I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and to hit that subscribe button and that bell to be notified when I upload more videos in the future. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you are staying healthy and staying safe, and I will catch y'all next time. Bye, everyone.